Hey everyone, welcome back to my therapy lounge. My name is Joanna. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. And today is episode 12 of Walks with Lily, where I walk my dog and we talk about anything mental health. Today, we're going to talk about something that affects your everyday life. That is communication styles. So, you've probably heard of terms like passive aggressive, and assertive. But what do they mean? How do they present? And then what can you do to start communicating more assertively and effectively? So let's get into it. All right. And as you can see behind me, someone is just about to get engaged. So that's pretty exciting. A lot of people actually get engaged, come to Laguna Beach to get engaged, which is just a fun fact. But anyways, let's start out with the first communication style, passive communication. So, this is when someone avoids expressing their true feelings, doesn't want to upset others, and prefers to keep the peace. So, for example, they might say yes, even when they really want to say no. They avoid conflict at all costs. They struggle to set boundaries and lack confidence. So imagine your coworker keeps dumping extra tasks on you. And instead of saying, hey, I'm really swamped, can we redistribute this? You just say, sure, yeah, I guess, and then stress out about it later. So, why is passive communication problematic? Passive communicators often end up resentful, overwhelmed, or taken advantage of because they don't advocate for themselves. So passive equals people pleasing at your own expense. Next up is aggressive communication. This is when someone expresses their needs in a way that disregards or disrespects others. So they might interrupt or talk over people, often blame or intimidate others, are not willing to compromise, and criticize or humiliate others. So, you ever seen a post on X or a thread where someone replies with, oh, you're an idiot if you think that, instead of having a respectful debate? Well, that's aggression. Or imagine a manager who says, this report is garbage, fix it now, instead of, hey, let's go over how we can improve this. Why it's problematic? Aggressive communication shuts others down, creates tension, and damages relationships. Aggressive equals my way or the highway. Next up is passive aggressive communication. So, this is known as the sneakiest style of communication. This is when someone acts like their feelings aren't hurt, but then finds ways to try to hurt the other person. So, they might give backhanded compliments like, wow, you actually dressed up today. Use sarcasm. Oh, great, another last minute request. Spreads rumors about others and talks about others behind their backs. So, for example, your roommate leaves dishes in the sink again. So, instead of talking to them, you post an IG story with living with a slob, wish me luck. Or at work, someone says, no worries, I'll just do everything myself again, instead of asking for help directly. So, why is this communication style problematic? Passive aggressive behavior creates confusion, erodes trust, and rarely solves the real issue. So, passive aggressive equals circular confrontation. And finally, the gold standard of communication styles, assertiveness. So, this is when someone expresses their needs and feelings honestly while still respecting others. They set clear boundaries and are okay with saying no. They stand up for themselves. They listen actively and collaborate to compromise. And they use I feel statements. So, for I feel statements, there's 4 parts to an I feel statement. First is I feel, and you identify the emotion. When you identify the bothersome behavior or situation, because you give reasoning or context as to why that bothersome thing makes you feel that emotion. And then lastly, you provide the person with a solution. I would like for you to please. And let me just show you guys this gazebo. This is a pretty well known spot to come to. All right. So, putting everything together, an example I feel statement is I feel upset when you cancel our plans at the last minute because it makes me feel unimportant. I would like for you to please let me know as early as possible if you need to cancel so we can make other plans or adjust expectations. So here you're communicating your needs in a kind and respectful manner. Some more examples of assertiveness. Instead of ignoring a rude comment, an assertive person might say, that just didn't sit right with me. Can we talk about it? Or in a remote team, they'd message, I noticed my idea wasn't acknowledged in the meeting. Can we discuss it? Instead of silently resenting their team. By the way, this is a really good restaurant here in Laguna Beach. It's called Las Brisas. Really good. They have all types of food, but they're known for their seafood. Really good seafood. So if you're ever in Laguna Beach, come to Las Brisas. Assertiveness builds mutual respect, reduces misunderstandings, and leads to healthier relationships. Assertive equals collaborative compromise. So, how can you try to practice? Thank you. So cute. So, how can we try to practice or incorporate more assertiveness into our lives? If you recognize yourself in one of the other styles, don't worry. You can practice assertiveness with these tips. First is pause before reacting. Ask yourself, what do I really want to say? Second is use the I feel statements instead of blaming. Third is practice in low stakes situations. So, for example, like when you're ordering food at a restaurant. So, remember, assertiveness is a skill that does take time to develop. So, approach yourself with grace and just be mindful before you respond to someone. All right, everyone, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.